Hello and welcome back to Shelly's Chit Chat Cafe. I'm Shelly, your life coach for life. And today we're going to be talking about hypertension. And if you're interested in that, grab your coffee, your tea, or your favorite drink, and let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about hypertension, and that is something that I'm dealing with. I'm not sure if you are, or maybe a loved one is dealing with that, but hypertension is better known as high blood pressure. And high blood pressure is the pressure of blood that is against the walls of your artery, that pushes against the walls of your arteries. And the arteries are what carries the blood from your heart to the rest of your body. And that is a very important thing. So if you can think about it this way, the pressure of the blood pushing against the walls of the artery to the point where it can restrict the blood from going to where it needs to go, where you end up having maybe a heart attack or even a stroke. And those are most common things that occur when you have high blood pressure. So today we're going to talk about some of the important things about high blood pressure. How do you know you have high blood pressure? Well, there's a measurement. You have to take your blood pressure, and when you go to the doctors or even at Rite Aid or CVS, they have those little machines where you can put your arm in and it reads your blood pressure, but you may not know what the reading is. So let me give you an example. The reading comes in two sets of numbers, which looks like a fraction. You have a number on the top, and there's a bar that's in between, and a number on the bottom. The number on the top is called the systolic, and the number on the bottom is called diastolic. The number on the top measures the blood, the pressure of the blood. Remember we talked about how the blood is pressures against the arteries? Well, it measures that pressure. And the bottom number, this diastolic, measures not the beat of the heart, but the beat in between the heart. So if you have a normal heartbeat, it's usually da-da or and you can hear the space in between. So when you're having issues with the heart, it can go like long spaces in between, or a minute. And that is not a normal heartbeat. So you have to be mindful of that. So there are ranges that you can look at those numbers. Remember, the number on the top measures your blood pressure that pushes against the arteries. The number on the bottom is the spaces in between the beats. So when you look at the chart to know where you are, a normal reading is 120/80. That's a normal reading. It begins to elevate when it gets to like 130/80. Then it goes to stage 1, which is like 130, maybe 139/85. That's elevating. Then it goes to stage 2, which is 140, and then maybe 189, 190. After that stage, it goes into a crisis stage, whereas you can have a heart attack or you can have a stroke. And those are not really good situations at all. So it's very important that we make sure our blood pressure stay as close to normal as possible. In America, most deaths are caused by heart attacks, which a contributing factor is high blood pressure. There are people who pass in their sleep, have a heart attack and don't know it, and it's usually because their blood pressure is elevated to the point of crisis, and that's not what we want to do. There's some things that we can do to, combat that, to make sure that that doesn't happen to me or to you. One of the things I found out in my study was when you exercise. I know many people say, oh, exercise is the remedy of all things. Pretty much it is. So you have to think about it. When you exercise, it's not the exercise that you're doing. It is after the exercise that what happens is it begins to, the stiffness of your arteries and the blood that just stands still begins to move around. When you stop exercising, all of that starts pushing the blood through the arteries and get it to where it needs to go. That helps to lower the blood pressure. So there is some benefits in exercising. You can walk up and down the stairs. Not necessarily you have to go to the gym, but if you like to go to the gym, that is a good thing. But you need to exercise at least 3 to 4 times a week at the beginning. Now at the last week when I did the video, I asked everyone to, start thinking of some ways to exercise. And one of the things that I have incorporated since last week was to start dancing. I danced on that Saturday night. I danced Thursday, so I picked Thursday as my day of dancing. So I call it the Thursday throwback dance. And that is a good way to move the body, move the blood around, let it, stop it from coagulating. I mean, just get it moving so that it can start lowering your blood pressure. Also, there's things that we can eat. So I wrote some notes so that I wouldn't forget. So one of the things that we can eat is green leafy, green or leafy greens rather. And these consist of, you have, of course, spinach, you have kale, you have Swiss chard, romaine lettuce, beet greens, collard greens. These greens are very good to help with your blood pressure, to reduce the blood pressure, to lower it. And why is it helpful? One, it helps because it put potassium into your bloodstream, right? And it goes into your kidneys. It helps your kidneys to relieve all the excess sodium that is in your bloodstream. So the more you eat of these green leafy greens, it helps to relieve the sodium out of your system. Okay, so the more you eat of them, you can say that helps to combat that. So if you have sodium in you and you start eating those green leafy greens out of salad or cooked, it'll start helping your kidneys to flush out the sodium, and that is a good situation. Also, garlic. I don't know if you like garlic, but I love garlic, and I usually cook with garlic a lot. So I put garlic in pretty much everything I cook. It smells good, makes the food taste good. But garlic has this way of, it increases rather the nitric oxide that's in your body. And what that does, it also helps to, it says right here, widen the arteries. So if you widen those arteries where the blood is pressuring against the arteries, that makes it go restricted. But if you eat the garlic, what it does is widens those arteries so that blood can push through and go to where it needs to go. So that is a good situation. So don't forget to eat your green leafy vegetables and that garlic. Also seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. Those are good seeds to eat. Those also help to lower your blood pressure. We also have, what is this? Salmon. Salmon, macro. It has the omega-3 fatty acids. Those are good, and it's very good to eat to help lower your blood pressure. Next we have on my list, I have the red beets. Now a lot of people don't like beets. You can make those beets into a smoothie. You can juice the beets and then drink it, or you can cut them up, red beets, and put it in a salad. But the beets is another vegetable that is also high in nitric oxide that helps widen the arteries so the blood can flow through. So that is a good situation. So number 1 and number 2, eat lots of garlic and learn to love those beets. Those are good for you. So those are some of the vegetables that you can eat, and some of the also meat as salmon and mackerel that you can eat, that you can incorporate into your diet. But I do want to talk about sodium, which is salt. Now I have these measurements, and I didn't know this. When I'm cooking, I try my best not to cook with a lot of salt, right? But you have to be really, really careful, because the amount you have per day can add up really, really fast. So the American Heart Association recommends that we have on a daily 1,500 milligrams a day. That sounds like a lot, right? It's like a big number. But when we break it down, it says 1/2 teaspoon equals to 575 milligrams of sodium. That's a 1/2 teaspoon. And when it says that's 1/4 of a teaspoon, it does that. 1/2 of a teaspoon gives you 1,150 milligrams. 3/4 of a teaspoon gives you 1,725 milligrams. And if you put a whole teaspoon in, that's giving you 2,300 milligrams of sodium. Now, if we only could have, is recommended to have 1,500, that's 1,500 milligrams of salt. We surpass that once we hit the 3/4 tablespoon of salt. So that means whatever you're seasoning with, you got to be real careful. I'm one of those persons that like to season mine with chicken bouillon. So I have to start looking at that chicken bouillon and see exactly how much sodium is in that. And I noticed that when I take in too much sodium, I have swelling of my feet and swelling of the bottom of my legs. That is not good because I drink a lot of water and just seem to be swelling up. And even though I drink a lot of water and I get it out of my system, it still affects my arteries, which affects my heart. So I have to be very careful. And so do you. So we're in this together. I hope these tips and this information has helped you. I just want to encourage you that August is my birthday, and I am on the journey to eliminate having to be on blood pressure medicine. I hope that this has been helpful to you or to one of your loved ones that you can share this video with. So just remember, follow me on this journey. Let's do this together. And next week we're going to be talking about diabetes type 1 and type 2. So don't forget to tune in for next week as well. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video. Share this video with someone else that can use it. Let's do this together. The month of August, let's take control of our health. Let's dance. Let's walk. Let's do some exercises. And let's move our bodies so that we won't have to be worried about these different elements that tend to affect us as we get older and as we're younger. Let's eat right, let's live right, and enjoy. Thank you again. Talk to you soon. Bye.